Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about kicker options. And up on the board here, my top four guys, their cap hits from last year, and their age, all the way to the right. And stat time, what everyone loves. So Bailey overall was 21 of 28 for 75% total on the field goals, along of 52, but he did make 30 of his 31 extra points at 96.8%. A lot of us probably who look into the kickers at least knew that, I would think. Goskowski, over this past season, he was 32. He made 27 of his 32 field goals for 84.4%, long of 52 as well. He made 49 of his 50 extra points, good for 98%. And then you had a relatively new name to the Pro Bowl kicker list because he made one for the Jets and for the AFC side. He made 33 of his 36 field goals, good for 91.7%, along of 56, which is the longest made field goal of these four from this past season. And he made 30 of his 33 extra points, good for 90.9%. And then there's Robbie Gould, who is a machine, apparently. He made 33 of 34 total field goals for 97.1%, along of 53, and he made 27 of 29 extra points, good for 93.1%. And I do know that on some of these, it's just the overall numbers, and where some of these guys really struggled. Well, none of them had a field goal within that 0 to 19 yard range. From the 20 to 29 yard range, Dan Bailey was the only one who even missed one, which he was 5 of 6, so 83%. And 30 to 39, the only one that even missed one was Jason Myers, but he was 12 of 13, good for 92%. And all of them were in the double digits. Bailey made all 11, Goskowski made all 10, and Gould made all 13. Now, 40 to 49 and 50-plus yard field goals, I think, is where it gets interesting. Because Bailey was 4 for 9 for good for 44%, and Goskowski was 4 of 6 for 66% this past year, where, he's also getting up there in age. He'll be 35 coming up this next season. So you kind of wonder how that leg's kind of going off. And then Myers, the youngest on this thing, went 11 for 12 for 91%, and Gould went 9 for 10 for 90%. And Bailey was 1 for 2 on the 50-plus yarders, so obviously that's 50. But Goskowski was 2 of 5 on the 50-plus yarders, where he doesn't usually miss that many 50-plus yard field goals, which is only good for 40%. And Myers went 85%, making 6 of his 7 field goals from 50-plus. And Gould made both of them good for 100%. And I think the fact that 6 of the 7 missed field goals from Dan Bailey came from 40-plus yards, I think that kind of hints that we probably need a better deep kicker, because, as I said on the list, he's the only one that missed a 20 for 29 yarder, and there was only one missed total between 30 and 39 yards, and that was Jason Meyer, who's only missed one. So the real difference comes in the 40 to 50-plus yard things, and where you would expect Goskowski to be better, because he normally isn't shooting at 40% from 50-plus, or even 66 from 40 to 49. You kind of see the Myers and Gould grouping pull away, because they're both at 90% or above. And then you have an 85% kicker, and Myers is from the deep, way deep, from 50-plus. And even though it was only 2, Gould made both of them. So he's not really showing signs of decline. But they all kind of have red flags, I think, because Bailey, it's more of a question of does he still have it? Because we do know before he came up into Minnesota, he was the second most accurate kicker of all time. And obviously now I'm assuming that changed. But does he still have that? We don't really know. The stats would say probably not. But I think he made like his last 5 or his last 6 field goals in Minnesota when the season was going on. And it kind of raises a more of a question because of that. And it's kind of debatable. Gostkowski, he's getting up there in age. He's going to be 35 next season. And he's really starting to struggle from that 50-plus range, I think. And that's a little concerning because the leg could be going away a bit. Myers has 1 year of 90%, and he was in the 70% of, actual field goal kicking overall the past 2 years before this past season. So which one is he? It's, once again, up in the air. And Gold, extremely good. He's a machine, we have established. But will be 37 next year. Have to worry about age possibly catching up to him. And personally, I think you really do need to look at Myers or Gold if they hit the market, and I think those need to be your top 2 guys, mainly because of the deep kicking. And because we kind of know how this offense works, it's been known to fade out easily no matter who the offensive coordinator was. Like, ever since Zimmer's been there, the offense has been known to kind of lull along and not always punch it into the end zone and get those red zone attempts actually punched in. But if you have an accurate kicker from 40 plus, it takes off some pressure. And we haven't really had a reliable guy. Like, we've had big leg kickers, but Blair Walsh, aside from 2012, I don't remember him being the most efficient guy from deep, even though he had the leg to get it that far. It was always like this 50-50 shot whether or not it would be accurate, though. And we've had guys like that, like Carlson, even though he was good with the Raiders, it was kind of the same deal, it seemed. And we never had that reliable deep kicker. Well, at least not for a while now. Under the Zimmer era, we haven't had that. And I really think that shoots Myers and Gold up to the top. Just because of, like I said, it could do that. Now, Gold could be excellent for 1 or 2 years and then possibly leave. I don't know, kickers, when they get up there, a little weird. Not all of them stay as long as Vinatieri does or has. And Gold could be reaching the end of his career. So there's that. And Myers, he's only 28 years old for next season, and he could potentially fix the problem for more than a few years. And the reason why I say potentially is because we still run that risk of him going back to his 70% self. And it's more of, do you want to take the risky one, or do you want to maybe pay Gold more just to be like this, well, maybe more, but like less years, and kind of have this, he's a reliable guy. But I would really lean towards those two. And I guess if everything falls out, assuming they hit the market, by the way, this is assuming. But I guess Bailey would kind of be your backup guy in case something fell out there. I would like to know what you guys think. I know kickers, not the most fun thing to talk about. But I would like to know what you guys think down in the comments below. And until next time, I bid y'all adieu.